Remembering partition by involving Pakistan and Bangladesh would have been more apt. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's announcement, followed by the Gazette notification to mark August 14 as Partition Honours Remembrance Day, 17 years later has received mixed responses, with about 2 million killed in the most brutal ways, an estimated 1 lakh women kidnapped and raped, and more than 15 million men, women, and children displaced. Partition. The British Raj parting shot in India left an indelible mark in hearts and memories across the subcontinent. For India in particular, that lost its territory and its people to the west and the east, the decision was a painful cleaving that marred much of the joy felt in gaining independence. The violence that was unleashed by the decision pitted Indians against Indians, Hindus and Sikhs against Muslims, with the worst of the horrors seen in Punjab and Bengal. States that were partitioned in the most mindless and thoughtless display of colonial insincerity. These stories have remained in public memory, as India consciously chose to set aside its pain and greet Pakistan on its birth and attempted to carve out a distinct secular identity as it sought to develop itself. The scars were not forgotten, but the bond with fortitude and desires to move on from them. Along the way, the two nation theory based on religion alone, that Pakistan's founder Muhammad Ali Jinnah fought for so bitterly disintegrated with the creation of Bangladesh in 1971. Other developments have also helped heal the wounds of partition, not the least in India's successes over the past three quarters of a century, including a growing economy. Its technological powers and as a respected voice on the global stage, there is no question that a nation cannot know itself without knowing its past, that the horrors of partition must be acknowledged, archived, mourned, and commemorated. The concern over the naming of the day at this point, however, is that it forces the nation to look back on this traumatic time rather than looking ahead, given that the trauma was felt not just in India but in three countries. An attempt to mark the day across the subcontinent might have been more inclusive. It is necessary to remember not just the violence of 1947 but also the colonial hand that brought partition, hold the British Empire to account, and educate successive generation on the pearls of imperialism, arbitrary map making and sowing religious divides in order to rule. The Prime Minister's reasoning that the nation must be reminded of the need to remove the poison of social divisions, disharmony, and further strengthen the spirits of oneness, social harmony, and human empowerment is welcome. But this is an effort to be practiced every day, not just one day in the year.